so today we're going to work on the chain punch. I want to look at the ins and outs of it, work on the energetic side of it, work on muscle structure and energy, and then a few applications of it, like breaking into guards, using it on pads as well. So if we measure out our stance, get yourselves into stance. I just want you to start off with the mechanics of the chain punch. So from here, you keep your hands in, it's like in the guard position, but in fists. The one hand comes, it's the last part of the form. The back hand comes up over the top of the front hand, and you completely straighten the arm so that you get the full range at approximately, when you're just for training, you do it to approximately throat and chin level here, because this gets the furthest range. You'll see if you go higher, see how there's slightly less range? Yeah? So this is training the furthest range. However, the chain punch is applicable in all angles. So you can be punching downward in the chain, upward, sideward, depends on what the situation requires. Yeah? So if we just go through the shapes, and then the back hand comes over the top, and you'll see, as the front hand comes backwards, you'll see that, see how this angle closes here, as it comes back? What that actually means is that, let's say I've punched through to Stephen, and then I'm bringing this hand back for this one. See how this now can control that point? So I can control that arm there and then hit again and control. So the chain punch is actually quite effective because it allows you to break through and then maintain control of a person's arm while hitting them in. Kind of like you're a lawnmower, hitting and controlling and going through and just chopping through. Yeah? Okay, so let's go through the movement a few times, and then I'm going to guide you through the energy training for it. So I just want to make sure your shapes are looking good. So stance is on, toes pointing slightly inward, knees bent. Get slightly a bit higher. Yeah, good. Good. When you're making contact, you'll be contacting with the bottom three knuckles. Now, as we go through the energy training, completely straighten, completely straighten. As we go through the energy training for this, if you feel your shoulders get tight, just take a break and let the arms rest. Or you can even just work on one. You can work on the movement of one if you want to, if you feel that your shoulders are getting tight, because the objective isn't to get your muscles tired. Yeah? It's to get into the energetic state. Okay? So let's begin. So going through your chain punches, take some deep breaths. Start to feel and activate your center. So feeling energy, Tai Gong, and visualizing and feeling all the way to the ground. So from the ground to the crown, feeling and seeing the whole center. As with all movements, you want to be thinking about using the etheric body to lead it. So you're trying to feel as soft and as loose as possible as you do it. You're not tensing any muscles up. And as we're doing this etheric training, energy training, state training, maintain that awareness just on the center. So you're just solely, softly concentrating on being centered. Soft, drawing up, feeling and seeing the whole center line. Let the face soften. Feel the spine nice and upright. It's kind of like you're hanging from the crown of the head. Someone once described it to me like they felt like they were an apple hanging from a tree, like the core was here and the apple was just hanging, so all the matter was just resting and hanging from that point. Now bring the feeling into the whole body. So feel everything. Centered and feeling. As usual, when we do the state training, you want to have a level of observation. So as you're centered and feeling your whole body, it's also like you're observing the sensations, the feelings, the images, the ideas, any tension, just observing yourself completely. Like there's someone sitting, like you're sitting up in the corner of the room and just watching. You can like play around with the speeds of the movement as well. You can slow it down even further. Or even speed it up slightly if you want, just to start to get different sensations for it. So feeling the whole body and centered. Make sure you have a calm mindset and you're doing this with a soft intention. And now start to sink the energy all the way down. So sinking the chi, sinking. So you've got that releasing sensation, that alignment with gravity, that internal drop, like you have a shower that's running inside the top of the head and it's just running down through your whole body. It's like it's massaging all the joints and tendons and ligaments, releasing any tension points through the whole body. Even the arms as they reach out, everything's sinking and releasing, sinking. Now activate the idea energy. See white light shining in your whole body. So the whole body is filled with white light, and there's that line of white light in front of you, either at the apex of your punch or at the furthest point you can see. Like you can see it in yourself in the mirror if you like. So consciously using the idea energy now. One of my favorites, Bruce Lee, said, "I do not fear the man that does one kick, 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man that does one kick 10,000 times." So you're going to do this punch 10,000 times today. No, I'm kidding. What's the math over a year, Daniel-san? How many punches over a year? How do they get to 10,000 if they're practicing this punch?
About 30.
30 a day?
Ish.
30 times 365, really? That's pretty good.
Let's do 30 times 300.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like 27 a day. Yeah. It's not that many, right? So you've done a good quota for the week. Keep going. Concentrate. Stop listening to me. Okay, so now you're centered, sensing the whole body, sinking the chi down and seeing the white light. So now you've got the whole state on, yeah? This state is what we're trying to bring into every single movement in our Kung Fu system, but into every movement just in daily life, so you become the state. Really observe yourself now. So observe yourself in the state. Any thoughts, images, words, ideas, sounds, sensations, pains, tensions, blank spots. Just observing yourself. Take some deep, conscious breaths. Feel your spine tall and your center open. Feel conscious in your whole body through the feeling energy. Feel that the sinking chi is releasing any tension. You're aware of your thought processes through the idea energy. And bring this state back to you whenever you wish. Hold it there. Good job, team. Bring it in. How'd you go with that? What observations do you have?
I think in the beginning, I wanted to, like when I was doing it, I wanted my shoulder to like go further forward.
Yep.
But then it stopped towards the end. And then I also pictured clouds. Yeah.
When you did that come of its own, or you chose to do that when you're in the idea energy, or
Oh, it kind of just happened.
okay,
Yeah.
there you go. That's good. That's a good sign. Meaning you just noticed clouds there all of a sudden. Meaning the connection to the idea energy is becoming stronger for you, because a lot of the time people don't notice that they use the idea energy in relationship with thinking process. Every thought has an idea, an image to it, but we don't notice. So clouds are one for you. They feel quite relaxing, eh? Like I'm visualizing clouds right now. I'm like, I feel fluffy and floaty and etheric.
But they're deceptive. You know, like when you're in a plane, you see a soft cloud, but then the plane goes through it, and it's like,
That's it. Deceptively powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the cloud. Joe, the cloud. What's your last name again?
Well, nothing.
Lanako. Joe the Cloud Lanako. That can be your ring name.
I do like that, one of those, like the Cloud Empress, you know, kung fu films.
Oh yeah, the Cloud Empress.
on
There you
Jade
go.
Mountain.
The Cloud Empress. She's got her name now. How about you, Phil? Any observations or?
The only strong one was when you said to visualize the white light. Like I visualized it, but I was also seeing horizontal, which I didn't intend.
You saw a horizontal
So
line.
I had the normal,
the line here.
and that was me visualizing.
Consciously, yeah.
But I could see a horizontal.
From the whole body or just from your center?
It was actually along the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, did it go up like a plane, like a white sheet of paper that was down there, or was it just along the ground?
Yes, I had the one there,
Yeah.
but then I could see this like connection.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Did you create that or just there?
No, that was just there.
There you go. Yeah, so another good observation. So the thing is, when you see these things in your training, you want to start applying them to your, in the energy training, start applying them to like chi sao, so single sticky hands, double sticky hands, and also the force structure energy work. See what I'm getting at? Because that may be a gateway for you into the state. Oh, I'll visualize that connection, and that will kick in the state for you. Right. Makes sense? So the clouds for you might be the whole state. Make sense? Yeah. Good. So this is why it's very much self-observation, self-study, because, I mean, clouds for you might do shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And vice versa. That's why everyone's different. You can't be like, this is exactly how you need to do it. We can give you principles, center, sense, sync, see, or the actual foundational concepts and energy within it, and then you find how to do it. Make sense? Cool. Right. First thing, why don't we, you've done it. Why don't we just do it dynamically first, and then we'll do some force structure energy stuff. You guys have done this one before. Let's do it this way. So, if I borrow you, if you can put these on for me. So our next exercise, we're going to do just chain punches in 4, moving back and forth across the room. So with 2 pads. So things you want to be thinking about. 1, 2, 3, 4. So person with the pads, you're going to hold like here, and then you're going to step back and go here and here, and you're going to, so if we swap sides, so you can hold it, it's like an angle in towards me here. I'm going to hit it 4 times, and then you take a step back, then 4 here, then step back. So you're going to walk back across the room, and I'm going to follow you.
And you do 4 in there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if we turn around, things to think about. When you're turning to the target, you want to be sure that the whole body is coming behind the chain punches. So I'm not doing this, I'm not facing Hugh as the target, I'm not facing Steve. I'm facing the center of the pad as though this is the opponent. Everything comes forward towards this 4 times, and then when that comes up, turn the whole body towards it. Try as best as you can also to shoot it straight away. So as soon as the pad comes up, go straight to it. Person holding the pad, you want to be sure that you're aiming it in towards them, so they can turn straight this way, as opposed to holding it out this way. And then, because then they'll need to come over here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Other things, maintain your state as best as possible. Center yourself, and if the person is moving, because you do need to move, make sure that the body is moving as one unit. At the beginning, we always want to move the spine stably, just like you're walking in the street. Now, you know, when you walk in the street, you don't walk like this or like this, right? Although when people start training Kung Fu, they start to do that, start to do this. Yeah, don't know why. Yeah, just be natural, okay? All right, let's have a go. Maybe Jo can go first. Yeah, and you'll walk her across the room. Yeah. So one at a time. Yeah. Whole body. So you can see at the moment how the hips are shooting this way. Turn everything in towards them. Because once you've made, say that the fight's between you and me, and you come in towards me, and I strike towards you, see how if I've still got some mass here, I'm wasting this mass. I want to turn everything in towards you, so everything's coming at you. Get the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, whoa shit, here it all comes. Yeah, good, turn it in. Like you're following, yeah, that's it, and then, yeah, good. Good. Good, let's have one more go. Go again. Dial it in.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, Steve-o, your turn, brother.
Hey, so is the punch, like when we're practicing it before, and you were
Yeah.
saying like full range,
Yep.
but when you're doing it like here, for real, it can be easy.
Yeah, it would depend. You're exactly right. Because let's say if you okay, let's say that if you keep on, let's say that the target's here, then once I've hit it, I may not need to straighten through.
Yeah,
so it depends.
yeah.
It's just you train the whole range. But if it's further out, then I may need to straighten it to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, it depends. But you're right. It could even just be, and I don't even need to do this. Like, what would be the point? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's just for training's sake that you're training the whole range of the movement in yourself.
Yeah.
Make sense?
And that thing with the three, you said the three, like how?
Yeah. So bottom three. So if you look at the structure here, you look at the bone behind it. See how these bones line up with it? So you're making contact with the flat part of it. So not just the knuckles part, this part, yeah? So this part.
So you're going for that.
The whole part here, this whole, like from here to here. So it'd be like, that was there. Feel that? So if you put your fist, there, yeah. But don't sit, not that, keep it, yeah, there. Feel how the structure is aligned?
Yep.
Yeah. So that you've got this bone set behind it. It's like when we kick with the heel because you've got the bone behind it. Yeah. Once you connect the structure up, it doesn't matter. But just from the shape's perspective, that's much safer initially. Mm-hmm. Meaning you could actually hit with this part if you've got a good structural alignment energetically. Yeah. So if you feel here, it's quite easy to get a good structure there, right?
Yep.
Now bend here like this, and it's not as easy.
No.
But if you center yourself, yeah, and feel this, keep feeling this, feel this line here, feel this line here, feel this line here, feel this line here. Feel how it feeds in now?
Yeah.
So that was
energetic,
but it's harder to do that until you've naturally made the energetic condition a part of you. So then no matter where you move, your structure's connected. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Nice and upright. Good flowy movements. First thing, the movements are quite flowy. Your spine's nice and upright and they come in a good succession. But if you look at how I'm punching, can you see what's happening here? Yeah, they're working separately. Mm-hmm. They're working like separate pistons. You want them to work together, yeah? So, because look, if you use them as pistons as you come in to attack me, yeah, and then you keep punching, yeah, keep punching toward like you're trying to attack me. Feel how they're separated, and you're open. Whereas if you bring them into the center and you come in to attack me now, and now keep them on center, see how you're more protected. But if you start to also use the chain motion, feel how you can control and hit, So rather than if you just put a guard up, rather than this. You feel?
Yeah.
Feel the difference? Yeah. So you try. Yeah, better. Yeah, better. See, the center's controlled now. Yeah, as opposed to, see, not this. Yeah. That might be from your old training, hey?
Oh, I don't know. Could be uncoordinated.
Old training plus unco.
Spot on.
So yeah, really keep them center line focused. Get them going down the center. Yeah, much better. Awesome. Good. Good. Yes. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Good. Yeah, I'd really focus on keeping those hands down that center line, because that's just going to that's going to naturally protect your center.
Yeah.
B, it's going to allow you to control arms better as you start to come in contact with them. Okay, let's keep going. Good. So the shapes and the lines looking good. What I would add now, Steve, is to really relax the shoulders and face. I've noticed as you go into punch, a bit of this happens. It's like the real, which is like a real. You know the cover of Blitz magazine.
Oh, Blitz from the old days.
Yeah, you remember Blitz?
Yeah.
We used to be this joke running in my old academy saying, "I'll put your Blitz face on." And everyone, so it looks like you're getting a bit of a Blitz face. Think more of a bliss face.
Bliss face.
Yeah, as opposed to a Blitz face.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You got to lend me some of these clouds.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at her. She's always like, literally, her and Sissy are always laughing all the time. No, but that's good, because literally, the more positive your mindset, the more joking, more relaxed. Our teacher used to always say, "Take it easy. Calm your mind." The more chilled you are about it, the more your energy channels are open. It's just you will feel that. We did a class, didn't we, the other day, where we were like, were you here? We were doing like think of. And the more positive the mindset, the more open your energy channels are.
You know the Hitler class?
Yeah, this is when he was when he was hating on Mother Teresa. And go. All right, let's go.
Funny.
Yeah, it was a fun class. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, chill. Bliss face. Imagine dolphins here making jokes. Yeah, there you go. Good, yeah. That looseness in the mind makes the body looser. Yeah. Okay, good. Any questions on that technique? Well, that's the foundation. The chain punch is very much the foundation of the system, so we are going to do a lot of work on it. We have been doing a lot of work on it. Next part we want to take a look at is we'll take a look at any questions on that one, actually? No?
Just on how it's a foundation, really, like
sure.
everything else.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
so how is it? Yeah, for sure. So that's the foundational attacking movement in Wing Chun, because if you look at the actual form, that's the strike that you do most. At the end, you do 6 punches, remember? 6 of these, yeah? Whereas every other attacking movement, like the side slash, or the cut down, or the palm strike. The palm strike you also do 6 times, but it's 6 variations. You're here, it's actually 8 times, sorry. Here, and here. Yeah, so there's different variations of a palm strike, yeah? Whereas the chain punch is exactly the same 6 times. Now, why is that foundational? Because when you're in the Wing Chun system, you want to control the center, attack down the center, attack whilst defending here, and protect your own center. So if meaning I want to take the shortest distance between 2 points. So if we're in a combat situation, throwing a center line punch from his center to mine takes the shortest distance, yeah? What that essentially does, it makes you protect your center as well. Because you're striking down your center, I can't throw down the center as effectively as I could if it was open. Make sense? Yeah. So that's one part of it, that you're controlling the shortest distance between 2 points. Not only are you controlling it, you're protecting it, but your own center, and also throwing multiple weapons down it. So in our system, the idea is as well is once you've come through, you want to keep coming through. Once you've hit them, keep hitting them. And apart from the punches, you keep moving forward as well. Yeah. So from here, if you're attacking down the center multiple times, I have to protect that. I have to stop that, right? Which means I have to either block it here or I have to stop it here, not allowing me to strike here, which gives you an advantage. Forcing me, if you keep punching, to take a longer distance. Now, the reason this is advantageous is because if you're already in the middle of the center, all you need to do is a slight change in the movement and you can continue to strike. So the chain punch isn't just this. So if I'm coming to attack you and I'm throwing chain punches, then you start to throw punches around that. Yeah, I can keep chain punching, keep chain punching, keep chain punching, right? Even though the attacks are coming from different angles.
And so is that what all the other moves are?
So everything spawns off that.
Yeah.
Like the chain punch is kind of like always in your mind, so to speak. Like if you're throwing a strike in, you're always going to keep throwing strikes down there, down that line, because it's hard to deal with. If you've got a whole person's body mass moving straight down towards them and they're punching continuously like this, it's, you know what I mean? Even if the person can't get all their body mass into it, because look, if you can hit with the Wing Chun body structure and state, it's already quite powerful. You know, so even from here, and that's from touching. So imagine from there, right? So get the idea. So from there, it's already really powerful. But even if you're not hitting with full power, it's like chopping down a tree. If you're punching someone in the throat and nose and eyes continuously, even though you're smaller, if you whack me straight here and then keep hitting, it's debilitating. So why is it the foundation? Because we always want to connect to the other person's center, control the center line so that we can protect our center and attack theirs. And from that, all the other techniques can spawn off according to what's coming in. So if I'm coming in at you, and you start doing any other type of attacks to me, my hands will move accordingly, but keep chaining you here. Keep chain punching, and all the other different movements, the Chun, the Bilji movements, they'll all start to come out of that. Because then you also have like, it's a good question, right? You also have.
I did master.
Now that we've done chain punch, so the chain punch now has locked him into a trap. Once we've come through chain punches, now we're not really in chain punch range. You come into like chain elbows now, which is So it's the bread and butter really. Like any Wing Chun school does a lot of chain punching. It's also very effective because we don't use gloves. Like if we do chain punches with gloves, the gloves are so big you hit yourself with the glove. You can't really latch. You can't latch and control. And you can't grab and break. Like there's a lot of limitations with gloves. So it works well in our system because it's for a street self-defense system. So it's the bread and butter because it's the foundational movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean,
Demonstration.
But as you can feel, when you practice a lot, like you don't get hurt though. Like I was able to show you how effective it is without actually, unless you want me to.
No.
Okay, so any other questions?
No.
Never again. I don't ask questions anymore. Okay, so the next part I'd like you with us to practice is strength, structure, and state with the cross-punching movement. I'll start off with just one arm first so you can feel what that is. So that's basically this movement. So if you imagine, you do both hands but holding one arm. So he's going to hold first. You hold tight. And the first one is I'm going to do strength. So I use my muscular strength to, that's right, hold wherever you want. Muscular strength, and stop me from moving, So, I can feel, and then pull back. So stop me from pulling back as well. So you're going to have to, kind of keep it on the same space. You see how it's really messing with my body, Then I want to center myself and get into my skeleton and do the same thing here. And for me now, it's just like levers, And he's trying to hold on to it strongly, which makes you go around. And then you go into state. I forget about the structure and I forget about the muscular force, and I just go into state. And even you can let go. You hold on. Okay. Because I want you guys to get an experience of what it's like in the strength system, the structural system, and using the state. The reason I've started getting you guys just to do state is because you get into it differently. But I will guide you through different components of it as we do it, okay? The objective is to observe what it's like in each one. So when you're using strength, what do you feel activating? Yeah. So as I'm doing the strength, okay, I notice, okay, my legs tighten up, shoulder, and I notice it knocks me back. When I pull back, okay, I feel that my lower back tenses here. What is actually activating? Because then when you go into structure, you can be sure to turn those off. You don't need to use those anymore. Then when you go into state from there, you can do the difference from that as well. Get the idea? So it's like you learn through relativity. You go, oh, that's my muscles. Oh, that's my structure. Oh, that's the state. And you can compare them to each other. That's why I always do this all the time. Make sense? But of course, you want to live in the state. That's where you want to be. All right, any questions? Let's have a go.
I think you need to give him more demonstration. His bliss face.
Blitz face versus bliss face.
Bliss face. Bliss face.
Bliss face.
Do you first? Hold.
You can go first.
So it's just one.
Yeah, just one for now. Yeah, we can do both after. So strength. Yeah. Yeah. You really feel what it feels like in your body. Yeah.
Bye.
Good. Now, do the movement exactly the same, but let the muscle force rest on the skeleton. So, how do you get into skeleton at the moment? What do you use?
Just the Taigong.
Taigong, yeah.
Feel the spine.
Yeah. And what about the rest of the skeleton? Do you feel it or see it or have an intention of it?
Intention,
Feel.
probably intention.
Okay, so the intention of being the skeleton and Taigong. Okay, let's go. Okay. Keep going, keep going.
Lost it.
Okay, good. So what you want to do with structure, feel your legs, the bones in your legs, and feel your spine. You want to feel like those. So if she's holding, watch my body. Yeah. At the moment, what's happening is
Yeah, I'm moving, aren't I?
Yeah, you're doing this, yeah, and then this, like to try and get. Rather, you want to let this just stay how it is, yeah. So this just stays where it is. So it doesn't really. So she just rides it, yeah. Yeah. So there's rest. Yeah. Feel the legs, yeah. Your state's quite good. You don't realize it, but you're using your state. Oh. Yeah. Okay, now, next one. Now, set to yourself, release, and try to get in state as best as possible. Let's go. Go back to muscle. Go muscle again. Keep holding the same. You're really wear muscle again. Yeah. I just wanted to see. Your holding's changed.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because when you were holding the first time, you were using a lot of strength, and that's why you were flying around. Oh. That's why I wanted to see if the holding has changed. Because when you went back to strength, you were more solid this time. Did you notice?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a problem.
Okay.
It's just what we want to keep in mind when holding is trying as best as possible to be the same.
Okay.
Because otherwise the playing field changes. Because look, if I'm holding Stephen with muscle force and he uses muscle force, yeah? Here's my muscle, he uses his muscle. Okay, there's one, because I've got more mass as well, yeah? Yeah? And then if I go to structure and he uses muscle, yeah?
It's different.
But let's say he goes into structure now and I use my state.
No, still can't.
So then the playing field changes. He's not going to know the difference. Okay? Whereas if I go muscle force and he does muscle force, yeah, and now you get out of that muscle force and use your structural force now. Yeah. I'm still holding. I'm just tensing my muscles up like a block. So I'm just like a block. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what I mean. So if you go to use muscle force and I tense up, yeah, you feel I'm just like a block of meat, just like. Yeah, so you feel this is tight, yeah, and then you now go into structure, and I'm still just a block of meat tensed up. Yeah, you feel?
Yeah.
Whereas if I start going, okay, now I'm going to put my state on, and as you go, yeah,
it's like going back.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you really want to, because I know I was looking at you like, wow, she's using strength now. She's using state. Well, she's in structure. Your state, that was the problem there. No, but that's fine. You'll find this starts to happen. That when you want to use muscle, you start finding yourself using state or structure because you found it more powerful.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like you're like, okay, because that becomes strength. But what we're talking in particular is your muscular system. Okay? So I'm thinking to make it easy, hold with muscular force only. Yeah? Yeah. Because it was feeding into the floor. And I was like, what's going on there? Yeah. And it was making it hard for Steve to feel the difference in his condition. Okay, cool. Good lesson.
Yeah.
No,
It's really interesting.
yeah, fascinating. Yeah.
Different stuff. So what am I doing?
You go back to muscle. So you just muscle now. So tighten your muscles up and just muscle and go muscle on muscle. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe slow it down. That'll help as well. Yeah. So just to move it slow. Yeah. Muscle. Good. Okay. Good. Now go into structure. Tai Gong. No force. Just rotation of joints. And you hold with muscle force. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that coming back harder.
Yeah. Center yourself and keep feeling the legs, the whole structure. Yeah. You'll feel more balanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Same, if not more of a result with much less effort. You notice that? Yeah. Now state, get into condition as best as possible. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see now your force is very even now. Yeah, do you feel the difference?
Yeah.
You're holding, you look like you're the same holding each time, whereas last time you're going, you were like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him up, you know, like yeah, without realizing you were going into your state. Were you seeing clouds? The cloud empress. Yeah. But did you notice the difference there?
Yeah.
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 Yes. Yeah. Practice. Right, your turn. And I was like, yeah, fuck you now. I'm joking. So yeah, hold it. Look, the thing is, even if Steve just wants to hold with structural the whole time, that's also fine.
Just keep it
The same. But it's better to use muscular because then it's gives the other person a platform. Yeah, come on, use those muscles, Joe. Okay, good. Now,
That's too hard.
now structure. Keep going. Okay, feel how when you're thinking structure now, all your attention's here. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole structure is there. Yeah, because if you're just thinking about this and he's holding with the muscles of his whole body, it's not going to match.
Yeah.
What you're looking to do with your structure is take the pressure from this incoming force onto the whole skeletal system. So even the bones in your toes, you should be feeling, yeah, or at least thinking about, yeah. So feel the whole skeleton, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, good. Keep doing. He's getting revenge. There's definitely more coming out. But now let's ease the hold down a bit, yeah, and go back to strength again, yeah. Because sometimes it's just too much for the body's system to handle. Like that's another way of thinking about it. Like maybe you're holding with a pressure which,
hard,
which might be too much, you know,
Yeah.
which is also fine. The objective is for them to get an experience of the same level of amount of force. So maybe if you're at like 70% of muscular grab, drop it down to like 40. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
And that's something important too. You want to communicate that with each other. Because if the strength is too much, the force is too much that's holding, then you're not going to be able to change through the systems because let's say you haven't got enough control yet under that much pressure. You know what I mean? When that pressure's too high. Because what I mean is his 40% of strength may overweigh your 100% of structure at the moment. Might not. Yeah.
Okay. Still structure.
Very good. And now use that same hold and go back to muscle. Going back to structure now. much easier, but same result. Yeah. Okay. Now state.
Pull back was
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah, it's grabbing you more. Yeah. The main thing is that she's doing a lot less to get the similar result. You know. Yeah. Now complete state. Get on those clouds. Yeah, that's it. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah. Now his balance is quite disturbed. Yeah. On the clouds. Okay, good.
Oh, that's right, yeah. The whole pictures.
Okay, any questions on that? All right, cool. What observations have actually?
Sometimes I get confused with all of them.
With the different systems?
Like I know the differences, but like if I'm trying to get into one, like structure and state, I'm just like, it kind of blends sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. Because secretly you actually use a part of the state to get into the structure. Because think about it, how are you going to get into your structure? How do you get into your structure? Visualization,
Yeah.
which is a part of the state. You get it? And also, let's say you use feeling to get into your structure, also a part of the state. Make sense? So when you're doing even when you're doing the muscular system, you're using the feeling, okay, I'm going to feel my muscles. So you're always, the strength, structural and state mechanisms, or ways of approaching bringing out power of your body, all intertwine with each other. Mm-hmm. You can't use one without the other. They all activate. It's just a matter of levels. You want to be coming mainly from the state and the energetic side, and as little as possible from the muscular side. But when we're doing the state, strength, structure, state training, you're trying to come from the muscular as opposed to the structural, and so on and so forth. And the more you practice, the more you train, the more you move into and start to control the energy body and use the state more as your, let's say, the state is the puppeteer as opposed to the muscular habitual way of moving from the past.
Yeah, I think that's it. That unlearning of unconscious kind of reactions or movements.
Exactly.
That's what I found the hardest.
Exactly. For example, in the last class I was working with Chris, he was saying that any time he makes contact, the initial reaction is to fight against that contact. When he makes contact with me. So as I make contact here, if I start fighting against that point, straight away that's playing on me. But you're trying to train yourself that when you make contact, that you release into that, and the contact is the energetic connection to their center. So you feel the difference now as I move. Even that movement then breaks your structure and affects your balance, as opposed to the reaction of fighting that point. When I try to move now, I'm the one moving off, as opposed to going into the state, and you move. Same for you. That condition, see, already you feel the shoulder wants to fight me?
Yeah.
And keep using that condition. So go into it more. So use that conditioning more as you try to move me, yeah? Can't really push it in, yeah? You'll find it's, you're actually really resisting to not push yourself off, Yeah. And now, Steve, we want to go against your conditioning now and say, no, I'm not going to fight that. This is very much about the whole one concept. I'm one with that person. So it's like you connect to my center, let the body soften and feel like you're just reaching into to something that's a part of you. Okay? So it's like, for example, you do that again, feel my center, forget no pushing against the contact point. That's a different, you have to concentrate to do that.
Open.
Yeah, exactly. You feel more open, but it's not natural.
No.
Well, look, it might be natural for kids, because like when you look at little kids and they want something and you put your hand in the way, they're very powerful. It's like their whole body's connected, I think perhaps we unlearn it from youth, I don't know, but it's definitely different to normal way of moving. Yeah. Okay, so next part. Any other questions at all or observations? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do it with both. So we're going to hold both hands now. So hold both hands. First I'm going to do it with muscular strength. So stance on, muscular force. Yeah. Okay, and I feel like my arms tensing up. I feel like I'm starting to lose my balance. Then center myself and get into my structure. Feels like a good workout for him and quite easy for me.
All I've seen is fist come to my face.
And then going into the state from here. And that last one, I feel much less friction, much less landing on me. At points, I would still feel some things landing because my other systems would awaken. Like I felt a little bit hit my shoulder, a bit hit my elbow, but we're trying to stay out of that. Yeah. Muscles, structure, energy body. Strength, skeleton, state. Get the idea? Let's have a go. Remember, hold consistent force if you're the as consistent as possible. Yeah. Yeah. Let's slow it down a little bit, Steve, just so you can really get a good feeling for it. Really notice it. And as you do it now, talk out what you feel in your muscles, yeah?
Mainly upper shoulders.
Yep. Okay.
Probably more than anything else.
What else do you feel in your body?
Feel the hips are sort of
Hips,
moving
okay,
with it. Yeah.
okay, hips are moving, okay, good. So now, as you go into the skeleton, keep that same hold, you want to let that part release because you know that's your main muscular activity point under that condition of movement. So now as you move, you want to release that and go structural. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Let those release. And so what do you feel now as you go through structural?
Both hands on my wrists.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Not in a bad way.
That
Yeah.
was what I felt.
Yeah. Okay, you're more just aware of the contact point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Good. Continue. Keep going structural. And just talk it out as you try to concentrate on structure as you talk it out. Yeah.
Not really feeling the shoulders.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. And look how much she's like going. She's enjoying a ride now. She's like smiling and shit. She's like, woo. Okay. Good. So now, shake that off a bit. Yeah. Good. Back again. And now get yourself into the state as best as possible. Whoa. That was good. Where are you going? Very good. Yeah. Yeah, good. Now keep staying in state as best as possible. Now describe it as you go.
When it's turned on, it seems really easy, but then
Yeah, okay.
it's almost like concentration.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it feels like
It's
there.
it's
and
difficult to
then-
keep it on while talking, but I wanted to try and press it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. But when it was on, it felt easier because
Yeah.
there were times where she was just like, "Ah." Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. Your turn. Muscles. Joe Muss. Use the correct technique as well. Make sure you're coming over the top of each other. So you want, yeah? So use your muscles slowly, and describe what does it feel like with the muscular effort.
It's a lot focused on my shoulders.
Shoulders, yeah. How about the rest of the body? Anything?
It's like more like tight. Like
Tight?
trying to-
Yeah. Okay, good. Now release that. Let that go a little bit. Shake it off if you need to. Okay, and now skeleton structure. Get yourself into your skeletal system. Good. Keep going with the skeletal system, and now describe how does it feel. What's the sensations?
It's like there's one of those like wooden dolls.
You feel like
The
a wooden
body?
doll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. There's little ones
Yeah,
that.
that you can manipulate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very visual. Okay. Good. How about the sensations compared to the last one as you continue with structure?
It's a lot smoother.
Smoother. Okay, good. Okay, now shake that one off, release that, and now get into the state. So sensing, sinking, centered, seeing as best as possible.
I just want to laugh.
Yeah, good. We'll laugh and do it. Go.
Okay.
Good. Keep the state. And how does this feel now? Describe it.
Feel a lot more sinky.
Sinky.
Sinking.
Yeah. You look really free in your arms now. Hey, looks like she's just able to. Which means now, because it's so free, which means then under this condition, it'll be much easier for you to hit through. Makes sense. So if Steve had a guard up, if you have and you just like hold tight like a boxing guard, or something, and you then punch through to here. If you hold up punch through. So this has to be in the way. Yeah. Now go into muscular force and use the muscular force to punch. Yeah. And like trying to punch it, yeah, and go back again, and just train muscular force, yeah, good, muscular force again, yeah. Now structural, yeah, structural, good, again, yeah. Now state, good state, yeah. Because it doesn't. fight, because the muscular system fights force on force. So as she makes contact here, there's some playback here. So you've got to use strength to get through. Then she uses the skeletal system, it's more like leverage, and she starts to be able to lever through. Then in the state, it's like it's not even there.
Yeah.
Just hits through, yeah? Because the force either rebounds or goes through. Yeah? Interesting, right? Okay, there's so much more we can do on the chain punching, because as we spoke of earlier, it is a foundational movement of Wing Chun. Should I do a few more demonstrations? Yeah, because the chain punch is malleable. Everyone thinks that the chain punch is just this, like this is technically what a chain punch is here, right? But it can be anything. It can be any succession of punches that are necessary in order to defend and attack in a combat situation. Good. Any final questions before we finish up?